Welcome back to In Session. I'm Ryan Smith, and breaking news out of Peru. Authorities say Joran Sloot has confessed to killing a woman inside his hotel room, and he's scheduled to take police back there for a reenactment. It's today's trial track. And In Session correspondent Gene Casares is outside the hotel in Lima, Peru, where Sloot is said to have beaten and killed 21-year-old Stephanie Flores Ramirez. Hey, Gene, when is the reenactment taking place with Sloot there, right?
Well, that's a big question. Everybody is waiting here. We have waited all day because Peruvian authorities have confirmed with us that he did confess to murdering Stephanie Flores. We have learned that legally the next step in the process is for police scene investigators along with prosecutors to do a reenactment of the crime, exactly what happened, how it happened, and the person that must accompany them that is Joran Sloot. Now, his attorney could refuse for him to work with authorities, but since he has already confessed, more likely than not, he would accompany them, and by law, it is extremely important, because in order for formal charges to be filed, prosecutors have to know particulars, because that will give them elements of crime so that they can say beyond a reasonable doubt that a crime has been committed. I want to show everybody the door of the hotel. This is Hotel TAC, where investigators say that this crime was committed. That's the front door. It has newspapers all over it, so we can't even look in. Now, a couple people have come out of the door today. We've watched closely if they've come out. One was a resident. I spoke with him, and he's staying at the hotel. Someone else looking a little more official with a cell phone. But, Ryan, I was able to get a hold of the Penal Code of Peru. This booklet has all of the criminal laws of the country, and I've been reading in it. And what it tells me is that at the conclusion of this investigation, remember, this is a death investigation right now. They are investigating the death of Stephanie Flores. At the conclusion of this investigation, all of the information and evidence the police have will be forwarded to the prosecutor. The prosecutor will then look it over. They will go before a judge along with Joran Sloot and also his attorney, and they will determine the formal charges to be filed. We don't know the formal charges yet. Prosecutors probably don't, because they need this reenactment to show them exactly what happened during the course of this murder. So we stay here, we are waiting, we know what the next step legally needs to be, and authorities are also telling us, and Peruvian authorities, that Joran Sloot's family will be coming to this area possibly by the end of the day. They also have told us there may be a videotape of that confession, because normally that is done in this country. You videotape a confession.
Wow, well, it would be shocking to see that videotape confession. And Gene, despite this confession, does that mean anything for the trial or anything like that? Once charges are filed, we know charges haven't been filed yet, or formal charges haven't been filed, but what does that mean for timing-wise the trial? Does it still become a lengthy trial process?
Well, no, it would shorten the procedure, because if someone pleads guilty, it actually still goes to trial. It still goes to that three-judge panel. Attorneys have told us, though, that it shortens the procedure to possibly 6 months in total. Now, on the one hand, this removes the presumption of innocence because he has confessed to the crime. On the other hand, because of a confession, it can shorten his sentence, it can shorten the term so he can start serving that sentence, and it may even allow him for the minimum versus the maximum. And there's also a question, will this be determined to be premeditated murder or a type of a manslaughter, that it was a passion-filled killing? That's what the reenactment will help prosecutors with.
Wow, so a lot more we have to learn. And, you know, this case is similar to Natalie Holloway's disappearance. Sloot was the last person seen with her before she vanished in 2005. Now, he's long been a suspect in that case, but he was never charged. And now Sloot faces an FBI complaint that he allegedly extorted $15,000 as a partial payment from someone in Birmingham, Alabama, in exchange for information on Natalie. Natalie's father, Dave Holloway, spoke by phone on ABC's Good Morning America today, and he implicated his ex-wife, Beth Holloway, in that transaction.
And 10,000.
Well, by design, that was handled by the FBI, and unfortunately, I did not know anything about it. I think the only person that was involved in this incident was Beth.
And just today, Natalie's mother, Beth Holloway, opened the Natalie Holloway Research Center in Washington, D.C. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting families of missing persons. Gene, can Aruban officials Ask Vandersloot about Natalie Holloway.
Well, Peruvian authorities have not confirmed with us one way or the other if during this lengthy interrogation questions on Aruba and Natalie Holloway were asked or even answered. But this morning I was talking to TV America, which is one of the big networks here in Peru, about Natalie Holloway. And she said the Peruvian people have known about the Natalie Holloway case ever since it happened 5 years ago. They have not forgotten it. And now that Joran Vandersloot was arrested and even has confessed here, that it's something that their country cares about too. And so can that be translated to authorities caring also? There is a sentiment in the hearts of these people for Natalie Holloway.
Okay, and let's bring in two of our team members of our trial team to talk about these major developments. In session, legal contributor Midwin Charles is in New York, and law enforcement contributor Mike Brooks right here with me in the studio. Mike, I got to turn to you first. Are you surprised to hear Dave's comments that possibly Beth Holloway, or his ex-wife, Beth Holloway, was involved in this transaction somehow?
No, not at all. I mean, we're also hearing other people saying that it was Beth that was the target of this extortion also. But one of the things that if this investigation goes along the way I think it will, Ryan, keep in mind the FBI does have a legal attaché in the capital city of Peru. So if there is any indication during this investigation that this possibly could be involved through diplomatic channels and through the FBI's LEGAT, it could get U.S. authorities involved in this.
Wow, that could be very interesting. And Midwin, as we look at this, he's got the case pending in Peru, Aruban investigators and prosecutors looking at him as well. How does this play out for the U.S. case, do you think? Is there any chance that the U.S. may be able to extradite him to face any charges, or would this have to wait until after Peru?
Has to wait.
I think it will have to wait until after Peru. I mean, in fact, I think it will have to wait until after he's served his entire sentence in Peru, should he obviously be found guilty and the like. But I can assure you there will be a plane ticket waiting for him and two U.S. Marshals once he is done with Peru, because this Natalie Holloway matter is not going away. The family wants answers, which is evident with this extortion case, and they are going to get them, I believe.
Okay, Gene Casares reporting to us from Lima, Peru. Thank you so much. Mike and Midwin, stick around. We'll give you all the updates in the Joran Vandersloot case as we get them.